Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Alexiot's here. It's Monday morning, and we're going to be playing the Boston Celtics today. So it's a very serious Monday morning, very serious business when the Eastern Conference leading Boston Celtics are here in town today. And I've got all the information you need to know for the preview for today. All right, first, real quick, because this is coming up real soon, and y'all may want to make plans at the Scotiabank Arena at 11 a.m. right this morning in like 90 minutes. It will be 9:05 playing Greensboro Swarm in the big building. So there's actually two games in the Scotiabank Arena today. They're playing 9:05 against Greensboro at 11 a.m. So if you're in downtown and you want to go to a Raptors game in the Scotiabank Arena and you can't go to the Celtics game later, well, you could go to this G League game this morning at 11 o'clock. So they're down there, and as soon as we get done with this stream, I'm gonna be putting on the G League game. Greensboro Swarm visiting the Raptors 905, playing in the Scotiabank Arena today. Yeah, and I have the referees for that game today. Tyler Ricks is the crew chief for the Raptors 905 game. Marcy Williams is the referee, and Stephanie Barksdale is the umpire. There's your ref report for a very, very fast incoming Raptors 905 game this morning at Scotiabank, not out at Paramount. They're playing downtown. I'm actually thinking about jumping in a cab after this and getting down there and going to this game just for fun and just to be at the G League game. Because, if you go to a G League game in Scotiabank Arena, you can sit real close to the court. And that would be kind of fun in a way to get that close down there by the court. Let me just check in with you guys real quick. Cool Cat is here. Good morning, Raptor Free crew. Good morning, Cool Cat. Let's get that good energy going this morning to beat the Celtics tonight. Yeah, they were successful in beating the Brooklyn Nets last night. It really was the two superstars pulling them away near the end of the game. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown having pretty good games last night. Jaylen Brown in particular, 34 points, 10 of 20 shooting, and then Jason Tatum, 29 points on 10 of 19 shooting. Now, they did not have Marcus Smart last night. He is listed as day-to-day right now, and I don't know if this means they saved them for us, that they didn't play him last night. I don't know. That could be very well the case. The other thing I'm a little worried about today, guys, just so you know, is today could be the day Robert Williams III returns to the Celtics lineup. He is currently listed in their injury report as very close to returning by Coach Joe Masula said yesterday that he is very close to returning. Now, I don't know what he means. Maybe he means today. Hopefully he means tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, it'd be kind of weird if he shows up just tonight all of a sudden. It could go two ways for them. It could be very good. It could also be, throw some chemistry issues into their lineup, him trying to adjust to being back. We know about this kind of stuff with things that have happened with the Raptors recently. But yeah, you go ahead, Boston. You want to bring back Robert Williams III tonight and try him out against us for his first game of the season? Okay, take that gamble against the Raptors. I'm not sure if they will, though. But it sounds like he's going to be back very soon. And the possibility of him playing tonight is there, y'all. Just so you know, we could be seeing the season debut of Robert Williams III tonight. I hope that's not true. We'll see. Either way, we got to look at it like it could be a good or a bad thing for them getting him back. So that's an interesting. Of course, Danilo Gallinari is the other name on their injury list he's not anywhere near coming back. So that's your injury list for the Boston Celtics today. That's it. Marcus Smart, day-to-day, did not play last night. It kind of smacks of him playing for them tonight against us. And then the question mark of Robert Williams III is something to monitor today, just in case the Celtics get the gumption to try and suit him up and actually play him tonight. Now, on our side of the ball is the normal stuff. Otto and Precious are out definitely. And then Juancho is actually doubtful today, guys. That ankle the other day against my Orlando, it is bothering him. And he's actually listed as doubtful for today. So who knows? Maybe Juancho will show up, maybe not. But there's your injury report for tonight. So, yeah, that's kind of what it looks like right now. All right, let me see what else you guys are filling up the net with. Tom Duke is here. Good morning. Let's get this huge W. This is the thing, Raptors. This is the number one team in the East right now. This is a team that just beat the Nets last night, a team that's already beat us 3 times this season. You want to know how to get that good feeling off, get going from like things, and hopefully, you can feel better about 3 losses to the Nets already this year. Beat the Celtics, beat the team that beat the Nets. It's like you, in a way, you jump ahead of the Nets because you can beat a team that they can't beat. So that's what we need to do today. Make a statement, come out with the best effort possible at the beginning of the game, very professional, just like we did on Saturday against Orlando, and get the jump on them and be the aggressor. Win the first quarter, Raptors, against the Celtics, and set the tone for the whole game. In some ways, we play them better than anybody else in the league. In fact, we bugged the shit out of the Boston Celtics for all kinds of different ways, whether it's the way we play, the way our personnel matches up with them, the way we stymie Jason and Jalen sometimes. Celtics fans hate the Raptors. They really hate us. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're not easy. We're frustrating to play against. We seem to get pretty 50-50 against them as far as record and how many times we play them, and boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's usually pretty 50-50 who's winning which way, and we're not. And that's the thing. They can say they have all the accolades and they look so good and stuff like that, but do you really? And how much have you really been that much off of how much we've been winning and doing well since the bubble season? Sure, Tampa, we won't count that. But otherwise, yeah, we're pretty up there with the Celtics in a lot of ways. And the record doesn't show it right now, but give us the whole rest of the season and see where we are near you guys by the end of it. But this is a very, very important game. We win this game today. There's a lot of good feelings. There's some great inertia going forward with a win over the Celtics tonight. So I'm really hoping this can happen. We got to remember the Celtics played in Brooklyn last night. I don't have any idea what time they got into the YYZ last night. They may have came in at like 4 or 5 in the morning. And, this is just the rigors of an NBA schedule. And then putting people in the games this close together, well, this is what happens. So who knows? We'll have to see what's going on with the Celtics. Of course, they're very professional and they're very on top of things. These dudes are serious dudes, Jason and Jalen. And we really, obviously our guys are going to take this very seriously, and they're going to be up for this game tonight. I have a good feeling. Sue, good morning, everyone, from Sue. Check out Sue's new YouTube channel. Play it again, Sue. And it's very cool. And then Mike, Logical Raptors Fanatic. Check out his channel also on YouTube. Salute the real ones, Project Truth Always. And Tom Duke is saying Boston didn't let the Nets take the game from them last night. We got the team to beat them. Yeah, Kevin was trying. Kevin did a couple of different things late to try and get them. But if they really pulled away near the end, the Celtics, and they just poured it on and ended up being like a 13-point win. There were times where it seemed like actually, it was only 11-point win. There were times where it seemed like the Nets got some momentum and they were kind of coming back. But, it was really weird third quarter in that game last night. There was very little scoring and a really ugly ball. It was 19-13 in the third quarter. Boston only scored 13 points in the third quarter last night. But it was a really weird game. And you know what? I know the Nets really want to beat them bad, obviously, but they could not last night. That's crazy. All right, we need to beat them ourselves. Yeah. Sue saying, hi, Tom. Hi, Cool Cat. Hi, Mike. Hi. And there's a weird emoticon again. Tom finds weird, colorful emoticons I've never seen in my life. In fact, that kind of looks like a turkey, but it is a hand. And what is that little bit in between the fingers? Is that to show that it's waving? Because it kind of looks like, what is that, the possibility of shoot a middle finger? I don't know. Sue's saying, let's come out strong. Yes, that's the whole flavor of the weekend, is that the Raptors have a player only meeting on Saturday and they decide we're not going to lose first quarters. We're going to come out with gangbusters and kick some ass right at the beginning of the game. Why wait? Why wait until we're punched in the face and lying on the floor bleeding? Let's go ahead and do the punching ourselves. And I really hope they do this again tonight and they take this game very seriously. And let's see who wins the first quarter. This could be very foreboding about how things are going with the game. Who wins the first quarter? Let's see how it happens. Tom Duke saying, how about those Lakers we have next too? 2 big games to start this week. Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves with the Lakers. And I see Paul B fanboying all over Facebook last night about Anthony Davis. You know what? Listen, I can say a couple things about this. Okay, sure. We saw him do this kind of stuff in New Orleans way back in the day. And maybe it's interesting that he's recaptured a bit of that recently. And I don't like this that he's coming out with these huge games recently, and we're about to see him this week. Once again, the Lakers got to go to Cleveland tomorrow night and play the Cavs, and then they play us the very next night on Wednesday. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, y'all. Forget about the fucking Lakers. I don't give a shit what Anthony Davis is doing right now. I'll talk about him in the next couple days. Today, we got to talk about the Celtics. And we got to deal with this just like the team is going to. They're not thinking about LeBron and this bullshit right now. They're thinking about the Celtics. So we're just going to think about the Celtics today. So, yeah, he was on fire. And, that is impressive what he did. But I'm not going to go off fanboy like Paul B. I'm sorry. I still think he's going to get hurt in like the next 10 games, and it won't matter. So Jimmy Pope saying, man, oh man, I'm manifesting that good energy today. Hope we can make that statement. Yes, Raptor Freak, Jimmy Pope. Yes, do your thing today. Do your thing right. Do your thing the Raptor way. And let's get that good energy in the city. I really hope the 905 cannot stink up the building this morning. They're on a 5-game losing streak. At one point, the Raptors 905 were 4-1, and they look real good. And now they've lost 5 in a row to be at 4-6. And that is disgusting and gross. 905, get your shit together this morning and beat the Greensboro Swarm in about 90 minutes from now at the Scotty Bank Arena. Yeah. G saying Jaylen Brown has gotten even better. I don't care. I'm going to think in my head he's worse. I don't care. Maybe he's better against other people, but he's going to be worse tonight, because he's going to have some OG-itis. He's going to have some plumbing cut off on him. He scored a lot real early last night. He had like 26 points before halftime, and it was nasty. We can't let this dude do that kind of stuff to us. We know the Nets don't necessarily play the right kind of defense. They really are kind of an offensive team. Now, they do some things okay, but they're not going to be able to do stuff on defense like we can. And that's what we really need to see. I want to see an anemic offensive number from both of Jason and Jaylen tonight. I want to see both of them struggle, both of them be like maybe around 17, 15 points. I don't want to see any of them go off in any kind of way. Stymie. That's what I'm saying right now. And that's what I'm predicting. We need OG to get the clamps. Yes. All right, let's see. Logical saying OG has gotten even better. That's right, Mike. Counterpoint. Bam! That's what I'm saying. G saying Giants of Africa gala with Deborah Cox. I think I saw OG at the concert with the mascot. Yes, OG has gotten even better, and he will pull out the clamps. Yes, G. She knows what's up. Yeah, the gala, they had the Giants of Africa gala last night. Pretty cool. Candace Parker, Christian Koloko. I'm sure a lot of the Raptors were there also. There's not a lot of footage out yet of it. Just a little bit on the Instagram for the Raptors. But we know that will get the open gym treatment, and we will be seeing more of what happened last night at the Giants of Africa gala. So, yeah, very cool stuff. And, yeah, maybe OG was there dancing. I don't know. And OG's got such cool dance clips out there online. Y'all, seriously, go look them up. Scotty was watching a couple of his dance clips this summer. There's one dance clip from his college days at Indiana, and OG is in front of everybody, and he does this move. And Scotty was basically like, it was a combination of like awe and also kind of rolling on the floor laughing at the same time, because he was kind of like, wow, look at OG. And like, he was so out of his shell in this clip, because he was really getting down and stuff like that. And Scotty was very impressed. He was very impressed. And he thought it was, I think that moment, Scotty was deciding this may be one of the top 20 clips I've ever watched in my entire life, is the feeling I got about it. Tom Duke saying, haha, Paul, fanboying, bahaha, screw the Lakers and the Celtics. Paul B fanboying like that is really an extension of his wife. His wife loves Anthony Davis. This isn't even like totally Paul B. This is Paul B as an extension of his wife. He knows that I've sullied his name in the past, and he's been waiting for this opportunity. AD steps up so that he can come and say, I told you so. And I'm just like, so what? He can do that. I knew we could do that kind of stuff. He should have been doing this kind of stuff sooner. And, once again, I have no faith in him because he gets injured so often. And it's not that I wish injury on him. It's just I know the pattern. and I've seen it many times before. Now, when he comes here on Wednesday, yeah, we'll think about it. We'll talk about it more on Wednesday morning, but it's too soon. It's way too soon, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Tom Duke is laughing about it, though. Paul B rocks. Fuck Brooklyn. That's right. Paul B, you are our friend, man. But, man, you spammed the hell out of our chat on Facebook last night with your adulation for Anthony Davis. And I'm just like, oh, man, come on, get yourself together. Is your wife sitting right next to you? And she's like, write it, Paul. And she's like, because I know she really likes Anthony Davis. He's told me this, and she's a big Laker fan. So that's a little bit of what's going on here. All right, let's keep going. Cool Cat saying Raptors 905 have players in and out, so it's disrupting their flow. Yeah, I think it's the quality. There's not as many good players. It's like, I know there's different things going on, but still, no excuses. It's just like with the big team. We have injuries. You have different things going on. You still got to take care of business. And I don't feel like they're taking care of business correctly. I've seen pretty much all their games this season except for one or two. There may be two I haven't watched. And I'm not impressed with them. They're not at the high level that Mutombo had them at last year. And there's different things going on with them. Maybe it is the personnel. I don't know. But they're not playing the right way. They're not playing the Raptor way in some ways, as far as I can see and the things I'm seeing. So maybe they'll do better today. I am seriously thinking about jumping in a cab and shooting down there right after the stream and just going in, because I know it probably cost me like $5 and I could probably sit courtside, because I don't think anybody knows that game's going on. And it's a Monday morning at 11 a.m. Who the hell is going to go down to Scotiabank Arena on a Monday morning at 11 a.m. when they don't know there's a G League game or anything like that going on? I don't know. Like, a lot of people see, I didn't even realize the game was at Scotiabank this morning, because I always just assume it's out at Paramount. But it is at Scotiabank this morning. So anybody who's downtown and it doesn't have anything to do this morning, they're lucky and they don't work, go to the game and go down there and get a free, not free, but it'll be very cheap basketball game. I'm sure you go down there and maybe hand them a couple of loonies and they'll let you in there. All right, let's see. Sue's saying, I say fuck all three of those teams, Tom. Yes, Sue. That's a good Raptor freak. That's right. Fuck all those teams. That's right. Callie Mayer's here. Good to see Raptor freak Callie Mayer. Let's come out strong first quarter and continue to share the ball. That's right. Sharing is caring. This is the lesson too this weekend. We got to share the ball, look for each other, help each other, elevate each other, and all of us will elevate together. Do it, Raptors. You saw a lot of good stuff against Orlando. I know that is a little bit of a lower level of opponent, but hopefully you can apply some of the things and characteristics and things that you were doing so well on Saturday tonight also against a high-level opponent, the Boston Celtics. Some of it may transfer still. Tom Duke is saying Jalen had 20 in the first quarter last night. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But also remember, Brooklyn, in some ways, I don't know if they have the right defenders to guard Jason and Jalen. That's part of it. We do. And I don't know who's guarding them. You think Kevin wants to run around guarding them? I don't know. Either way, they're impressive, but they did play last night, and that is in our favor to a degree. Nako the Nacho saying we should be good enough to stop at least Jason. Dude always looks frustrated with the Raptors defense. Yeah, and he has struggled games. He's struggled in different games, disappeared at times. Jalen seems like the more consistent Celtic once again this year. And then Jason Tatum's feast or famine. Sometimes you get a huge game from him. He absolutely takes over, like he did kind of last night at the end of the game. And then sometimes he's really struggling to even get to 20 points. So we'll have to see how it goes tonight. We'll have to see if, fatigue will be a factor because they traveled. We have another great advantage. We're at home, and we're going to be playing in front of our home court crowd. Y'all come correct tonight. Be just like how I did it last week when I came to the Cleveland game. I knew that we needed to be loud and crazy. So even though it's a Monday night, get loud and crazy on a Monday night in the Scotiabank Arena tonight if you are going to this Boston Celtics game tonight. Yeah, do it. Do it. Tom Duke is saying better call OG Plumbing. That's right. Get on the phone in the 416 and call OG. He can come and shut the water off. He can say, hey, listen, y'all may do this to other people, but you're not doing this here. Not here tonight. That we are water conservation city, Toronto, and this is OG. He's a water official, plumbing official, headmaster, plumber of the area, and he has come here to cut the water off because we are conserving water. tonight. And yeah, that's hopefully what happens. Jimmy Pope saying, yo, OG gave a jersey to Kane Brown. Kane Brown's a hockey player, right? I think. Well, that's cool. OG's cool. He's been doing a lot of cool stuff lately. Isaac Campbell's here. What is a Celtic, Laker, or a net? I only know the Raptors. Isaac Campbell, this is an existential question. What is a Celtic? I don't know. Maybe I'll find out in the real mascot matchup. What is a Laker? Somebody lives on a houseboat? Mm-hmm. What is a net? Well, Nurse Annette is a bitch. I know that. Real mascot matchup coming up in just a little bit. Guardian Transit saying, I believe this is a huge game. We win lots of faith in the season. If it ends up in a blowout, there should be some concern. I wanted to be a blowout on them where we beat them and we blow them out. How about that, Guardian Transit? Yeah, I don't know if there should be concern depending on how things go tonight. We'll have to see. And then once again, of course, I'll be here tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. to react to the game. Depending on, whatever happens, we'll talk about it. But I have good feelings. I hope so. There's a couple things in our favor tonight. The referees are really good. Let me tell you guys about the referees tonight. Our crew chief is Josh Tiven. He's from Connecticut. Waterford, Connecticut is where he lives. His favorite TV show is Seinfeld. His favorite musician is Dermot Kennedy. He is a yo-yo expert. Remember, he's the yo-yo expert. His favorite app is Instagram. And his favorite meal is lasagna. So we need to get him some lasagna. This man is a Garfield guy. And I hope he doesn't hate Mondays because we don't want him to be too upset today. We want him to be happy. And like Josh Tiven is actually a pretty good ref for us. His record for us is 62%. We win when he's on the court refereeing, and the Celtics win 56% of the time. So he statistically favors the Raptors over his career win percentage wise, 62% to 56%. And let's get this man some lasagna. We don't want him grumpy on a Monday like Garfield. Now, our second ref is Sean Corbin. Sean Corbin is his 29th season as a ref. He's from Windermere, Florida. That's where he lives. And his favorite show is CSI Miami. He likes the Godfather movies. His hidden talent, he's a cook. And his favorite musician is Brian Culbertson. And also his favorite meal is steak and lobster. This is a very fancy, high-class guy who likes steak and lobster. And his record is actually pretty good. He's the worst ref for us tonight, but not bad. 53.6% of our games we win. That's 54%. And then the Celtics win 47%. So once again, this referee favors us statistically over the history of their career. As far as this is like a 30-year ref, and the Raptors have a better record under him refereeing than the Celtics do. So that's pretty cool. We know the Celtics have had pretty bad years in the last 30 years. So that is part of it. And then the third ref is our own Canadian ref, Mr. Matt Callio. That's right. Matt Callio is our third ref tonight. He is from Calgary. He's born in Edmonton, but he lives in Calgary. His favorite TV show is Game of Thrones. His favorite movie is Good Will Hunting. His favorite musician is Eric Clapton. I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. No. He would most like to visit Portugal. His bucket list is a Norwegian cruise line. Okay. And his favorite meal is steak and asparagus. So once again, we have another steak lover. So it's like, really, we maybe need the keg down there. We may need some sort of I don't know, there's a really big steakhouse downtown that the players like to eat at, wherever, the good steak. Get them some good steak because we need some steak from Matt Callio and Sean Corbin for tonight. And Matt Callio, of course, we have a 100% win record under Matt Callio. He has refereed 2 games for us in his NBA career in his third season now. 2-0 is what the Raptors are when he's present. And meanwhile, the Celtics are 1-0. So both teams have never lost when Matt Callio is refereeing. So something's got to give tonight. And well, he's Canadian. So that can't hurt either. So there's your ref crew: Josh Tiven, Sean Corbin, Matt Callio. And you know what? I don't hate this crew. Sean Corbin's a very fair, longtime ref. He's not like Tony Brothers. And I like Sean Corbin. You hear the name Sean in the first name, that usually means he's a good ref for the Raptors. And then Josh Tiven, we've seen him recently. We've seen him in the preseason. We've seen him referee us a couple times recently. We lost the last game he ref for us, just so y'all know. but he is a pretty fair ref overall and no nonsense kind of guy. And there's not usually any kind of weird stuff. There's an article out on ESPN this morning about all the increased travel calls that are happening this season. It's very interesting. Let me just read some stats for you guys. October saw 1.7 travel calls per game, according to an analyst by ESPN's Kevin Pelton. That number doubled in November. There were 1.26 travels called per game, the lowest frequency during the 2021-2022 season. Last year, there were like the lowest frequency of travels ever. And now they've ratcheted it up this season. So this is a very dramatic increase in travel calls this season, and the players are having to adjust. And what's happening is very much with like the fouls. And this may be some sort of weird new area where the referees are figuring out new ways to manipulate the game and not like get called out or seen on it. The travel call, once again, is a very much like a subjective call. They could call travels all the time in different places, just like in football with grabbing on the line. It's the same kind of thing. And well, it's they pick and choose. But the weird thing is that they're calling travels late in late game situations where things are kind of a little like intense or close, and they're determining things in certain ways. Let's just put it this way. Raptors, you just need to clean up your handles. Don't even have a gray area where they may call travels. You know that the players have been doing travels years and years from now, but they want to crack down on it and change it. In some ways, it's kind of weird and messed up. But as long as they're doing it to everybody and they're doing it, everybody kind of equally applying it, that's okay. But that's the problem. There is prejudices. There are weird things like golden boys in this league, and there are different treatments of different people. And that's the whole problem with anything in the refereeing in the NBA. So you want to call travels this year, you want to make the travel call more like frequent than any of the past recent years, you go ahead, NBA. But just like how Fred VanVleet will ask one of your all's refs, when you call it down there at that court, end of that court, you better call it the same way at the other end also. And that's the one thing I'll say about this whole traveling thing that's going on this season with the travel calls increased this season. Go check out the article on ESPN. It's actually quite informative and interesting to talk about the whole history of how frequently travel calls are called or not, and why they're doing it this season, and how they all knew that this was going to be happening this season. When Monty McCutcheon came and visited with the Raptors players before the season, this was a point of emphasis that they were going to look at. It's just like last year, the point of emphasis was kicking out your leg when you're trying to shoot and get an offensive foul or get a defensive foul instead you're getting offensive foul. Well, this year is traveling. They really are looking at it, and that's why we've seen so many travel calls this season, way more than usual. All right, let's keep going. Bam, 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 bam. All right, let's see. Logical saying that dancing TikTok Ibaka and OG did is still fire. Legendary. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Okay, not gonna lie. I know that NGL is not gonna lie, Mike. I skip it, and part of it is because it's just a verbal filler at this point. Everybody says not gonna lie. Well, why would you lie? I'm not expecting you to lie. Just say what you're gonna say. It's an unnecessary part, and that's why I cut it out when I read it, is because you can read it without it. I hope you're not lying, Mike. I hope you're not lying. But yeah, okay, getting to your point though. Yeah, there's actually Precious has a new Instagram post last night where he is celebrating him DJing with OG next to him. It's in that thing. He really likes that clip from when he DJ'd and OG was next to him hanging out in the DJ booth. But yeah, Ibaka and OG old dancing clip, that's got to be from a few years ago. Duke saying this is a statement game, in my opinion. We need to get this one. I hope Nurse's rotations and schemes are on point tonight. Yeah, it'll be too bad if Wancho's not available, but we adjust and we figure something out. Maybe some more opportunities will be given to another Raptor player in different places. Now, they're saying that the 905 guys aren't available for this game tonight, but I wonder why? Why can't they play both games? Jeff Dowtin wants to play at 11 a.m. and he wants to play later on against the Celtics. I think we should maybe use them. I don't know. It's not a really big deal, I guess, or maybe not. I don't know. They do have them listed as not available for tonight. The 905ers, Ron Harper, Justin Champagnie, and Jeff Dowtin Jr. But yeah, I hope that their Nurse is very smart about his schemes and rotations. Well, let's speculate about the starting lineup real quick, Duke Rocks. Who do we think is going to start tonight? Well, we could always pencil in Fred, and we should probably put Scotty at the other guard position. And then we'll got to think of OG and Pascal. And who would be the next person? Do we revert back to our starting lineup from last year? Gary starts all of a sudden just because it's the Celtics, and that may be this is the kind of game that he's a good guy to have in the starting lineup from different battles we've had, and just the way this lineup looks with the backcourt with Fred and Gary kind of hounding Marcus Smart if he plays tonight. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is Koloko still. Maybe Koloko still starts, even though the Celtics have a smaller starting lineup. They don't have Robert Williams. Well, hopefully not. We'll see. He could, like I said, he could be available tonight. And if we do see Robert Williams on the other side, he may not start, though. He may be having to come off the bench just to start. I don't know. There's a lot of question marks about that kind of stuff for today. And it is something where we're going to have to kind of monitor and see how the news comes out as the day goes on. I don't know if starting Koloko is the right move either. In fact, in some ways, I really want him to go back to Thaddeus. Even though Thaddeus has been kind of struggling, this could show a sign of good faith. It's like, look, you're playing a very top team. We need your expertise and your sound, smart decision making, no rookie mistakes. Not that you can be exploited, picked apart as a mismatch against us, by the Celtics. So maybe Koloko, this isn't the night to start him. But if he does start him tonight, it may really signal that this is the new starting lineup that Nick really likes. That Gary off the bench with Koloko starting is the new wave for him to go forward with. I don't totally agree with that in some ways, because if we're putting such an emphasis on winning the first quarter and starting with good energy, Koloko is an instant mismatch for the other team to beat us on. And that's why I don't like him starting right now, Nick, is because he can be very much targeted by the Boston offense, and they can get going easier in some ways just because of his lack of experience. Now, it's the whole two things. It's like, well, we need him to get experience and just let him play. Yeah, but also look at who the opponent is for the night. Sure, you can get away with starting Koloko against the Orlando Magic and him matching up against Bol. But I don't think it's smart to start him tonight. I think you really do need to go with the vet smarts of Thad Young. So if you're going to start anybody different or weird than Koloko, I say either Thad Young or Gary Trent Jr., because you can't go wrong with either of those two. So that's my recommendation for the starting lineup tonight. But we'll see. Nick Nurse is the one who will make the decision, and we'll see if I'm anywhere near. I don't know. I've kind of hedged my bets. But if I'm going to pick a starting lineup tonight, I think Thad Young should be back in the starting line. But he may not even be in the picture because he's kind of like, I don't know. He looked lost in the last game. And I don't know. Who knows? Nick's going to do what Nick's going to do. All right, let's see. Monique is here. Good morning, everyone. Happy game day. Yes, Monique, super fan Monique Lawrence. I'm so happy it's game day. And yes, we have got the Boston Celtics tonight. It's something to get up for today. That's for sure. Get up and get out of bed because you got to play Boston today. That's right. And I'm so happy to always see you, Monique. Sue saying hey to Mo. Cool Cat saying, I think the game is a PA day, so lots of kids should be at the game today. I got ticks for tonight's game. Let's hope I'm the good luck charm. Yes, Cool Cat. Every time you go, this is good. You were there at Cleveland. You were there for Orlando. Now you're going again tonight. Cool Cat's often at the game. And you are a good luck charm. And I will continue to believe this. So I'm very happy you're going to the game tonight. I don't know if I should go to the game. I've got to save my money. But yeah, I'm glad you're going. And okay, that makes sense. So it's like today's like a day where schools are going to go down there, and maybe there'll be a bunch of kids at the 905 game. And they'll be in there, and like for this maybe like a reward day. You did perfect attendance coming to school, or you got this grades or something. You can come down to the game as a reward, and there'll be a bunch of school kids down there. That'd be good. I think that's a good crowd for the 905. They really need them for the energy. But if there's nobody in that building down there, and I'm be like, what the fuck? Why are they playing this game in Scotiabank and nobody's down there? I really do think I may need to go down there just for fun, because it may be fun to be there with all the kids yelling and screaming at a 905 game on 11 a.m. in the morning on a Monday morning. Let's see. Sue saying, excellent, Cool Cat. Enjoy and cheer extra loud for all of us freaks. That's right, Cool Cat. Bring it correct. and get loud and get that section going for defense. When the other team has the ball, we need to have a loud building in our homestand this month. And anybody who's going to the games, as I said this weekend, really take it seriously. The crowd is a part of helping them win, and that we can do our part to help them win a lot of these hard games at home against tough opponents like the Celtics this week and the Lakers. Do it. Go down there and do this. Don't let Boston fan come down there and be louder than us in our own building. Don't let them do anything like what we do to Detroit in their building. So let's very much keep it loud and keep it right for the Raptors tonight. And I know there will be Celtics fans in our building a bit tonight. And yeah, I don't like that. Let's see. The difference between 3rd seed and 8th seed are 2 wins in 2 games. Yeah, gee, it's jam-packed so tight on our side of the standings in the Eastern Conference. It is so close, and there's so much room to maneuver and go in different directions for all kinds of different teams. That there's nothing has been settled or sussed out after 20 games. In some ways, it all kind of separates, and you kind of see kind of where teams are going, but it's still way muddled and very much potential for a lot of different things to happen for a lot of different teams in all kinds of different directions. So we'll have to see how it goes, and we just need to get up there. And I wanted Brooklyn to win. To win last night, so that they would be on a 2-game losing streak coming in to see us. But then again, I was also thinking, well, maybe we don't want that because maybe they'll be more desperate because they are on a 2-game slide. So in some ways, it is good that they did beat Brooklyn last night because maybe they won't be as hungry. Maybe their appetite won't be as strong to win the game. If Kevin and them had beaten them last night, the Celtics may have been more difficult today. So we'll have to see. That's the logic of that. You know what I mean? Let's see. Monique saying no Wancho tonight. I don't think it's for sure, but it's looking likely that that's true. I don't think it is for sure, though. Cowboys saying, ta-da, I'm having a son, Lex, and Raptor family, another Raptor freak. Laugh out loud. Wish I could stay, but I'm working here. Great. Have a great day, everyone. See you guys tomorrow if I can. All right, you go, Bradley. Congratulations. And so happy to hear that you had your gender reveal. And you go, Bradley. You have a great Monday. And do your day like a Raptor would. Put in the effort and the quality into your work. Do it the Raptor way, and hopefully that'll add to the whole karmic world and like just different things around the Raptors that just put hard work and good energy into them to win tonight. Tom Duke has got the kneel for tonight for our referees. It looks like that's a cheese ball with cheese string. Really? Like that's like a baby bell? How the hell did you find a baby bell? Because that looks like a baby bell to me, like a little cow cheese with the red like around it. Okay, red wax. All right, and then it looks like isn't that curry, bro? That looks like jambalaya. I don't think this is what they ordered. Okay, steak and lobster's right. Oh yeah, he wanted lasagna. Tom, I don't know if you have a lasagna emoticon for Josh Tibbin. I think you need to get lasagna. The other guys are okay. You got the steak, and what are these 2 pickles? You just giving them some pickles just on the side? Tom Duke, hilarious. All right. Sue's saying, sounds like the refs are fair on both sides then. Yeah, I think they will be pretty fair. Matt Callio is Canadian. He's a Canadian ref. And we love Matt Callio. And it's great that he's a part of our ref crew tonight. Cool Cat saying, Kane Brown is a country singer. OG went to the concert with the Raptor and was on stage, gave him his jersey. OG loves country music. That's true. Yeah, I've heard about him in country music. Okay, Kane Brown is a country singer. See, I get him. I got him confused with somebody, maybe Evander Kane or somebody Kane that's a hockey player. Okay, he's a country singer. Yeah, all right. Well, that's cool. OG went to the concert last night or something? OG's the best. You're right, G. Let's see. Isaac Campbell saying, ta-da, holy congrats. All right, yeah. Congrats to Bradley on his happy bundle of joy. Van Hoot is saying, doing my quick pop in and out. Today is an interesting test against the best team in the league. We can match up, but will we? Key will be containing Tatum and Jay. I don't give cute nicknames to guys I hate. I'm sorry, Van Hoot. Fuck that. It's Jalen and Jason Tatum. Fuck that. I'm not calling them Tay and Jay. That's some fucking bullshit. And listen, I'm not going to give them that either. I don't say that they're the best team in the league. Fuck that shit. They're the best team in the East right now, but I don't know if they're better than all the teams in the West. Nah, man, you're giving too many flowers to the Celtics too easily. Fuck that shit. I don't like either of those things. No, I'm not cute with them like that, Jay and Tay. Fuck that shit. That's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and we want to shut them down, is what I'm saying. Yeah. All right, but yeah, continuing B movement from from the Magic game. Yeah, we need to keep that good stuff. The cuts, the finding each other, the looking for each other, and the setting up of each other from the Magic game. Yeah. But no, man, I can't say that they're the best team in the league. Fuck that shit. We're the best team in the league. We just haven't played them yet. And I would say that maybe some of the Western teams are better than the Celtics. This just pisses off Celtics fans. So don't give them this kind of respect. Fuck that shit. Fuck the Celtics. Fuck Jay and Tay. Like you acting like that you love them or something. Don't fucking call them Jay and Tay. That's Brown and Tatum, and we hate them. That's what it is. And it even rhymes. Brown and Tatum, and we hate them. Okay, there's no Tay and Jay. Like it's like you're watching Sweet Life with Cody and Zach. Oh, it's Jay and Tay. Woo! You know, fuck that shit with your cute little nicknames. Nah, man. Come on, dog. Come on, man. Tom Duke saying, "Way to go, Cowboy! Way, congratulations, Daddy-O." Yes, and G saying, "Congrats." Also, Tom Duke is saying he's created his starting lineup in 6-man. Well, if he's playing 2, they've got 7. And what about the girls? They can all play too. Come on, Tom. He's probably, yeah, he's got, he's got a lot of players now. All right, let's see. Random Phillips is saying, random Raptor Freaks, Monday morning blessings. Our team needs to rise to the challenge and win with double figures. Ooh, I love the specificity of Randolph Phillips' blessings today. He says we need to rise to the challenge. Like, in fact, some ways I'm playing Survivor, Eye of the Tiger in my head right now. It's the Eye of the Tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rivals, and the last known survivor took bread in the night, as he's running just beyond. Eye of the Tiger. That's what I'm saying tonight, Randolph Phillips. We're singing some Survivor, Eye of the Tiger, because we got to stand up and rise up to the challenge of our rivals. And that's what I'm saying today. And I love what you're saying about double figures. Because listen, I trust this ref crew on paper. Josh Tibbin, you're pretty good most of the time. Now, like I said, we lost the last game you ref. And Sean Corbin, you're an honorable man. Matt Callio, you're Canadian. Well, that's the thing. We still want to have that thick maple syrup on our side by the end of the game where we have a double-digit lead just in case things get a little flaky or weird or messed with by the referees. Maybe there may be some weird travel calls tonight late in the game, and you'll be like, well, it's a good thing we have a 15-point lead so that we don't have to let this be a factor to determine possibly that we didn't win the game. So I completely agree with Raptor Freak Randolph Phillips that a double-digit lead is very good insurance, just in case some sort of weird refereeing kind of goes down late in the game and they try and help the Celtics win. So I'm very much with Randolph on this. And we are going to try and rise up to the challenge of our rival. Yes, let's go. And Philly fan hates me now. All right, let's see. Tom Duke is saying, God bless you, Randolph. Yes, God bless you, Randolph Phillips. Thank you. Thank you for your good tidings every morning. Thank you. All right, let's keep going. Mike's saying fair. I noticed you not reading it, which is true. It's a habit on my part, in a sense of agreeing something is good that isn't what I normally would be into. It's a habit. Not gonna lie. Yes, Mike. No, listen. I'm very because I did a lot of work in broadcasting and radio as a young man. You really try and figure out those verbal tics. And it's weird because there's a lot of type tics now that you just fill in as filler in typing and you're not even saying it. It's like IMO is another one. But that one kind of has a usage. But yeah, not gonna lie is a weird one. It's just extraneous. It's not exactly essential. And that's why I just read over it, especially if it's like frequency too. It's like or anyways or and stuff like that. They're a little bit just like filler when your brain is kind of like all right, like fill in a little bit in here because I don't have, it's that kind of stuff. Alex is here. Good to see Alex. Celtics are small. Gotta attack the paint. Yeah, I like this strategy here. Let's talk about some keys to win real quick. And I like that Alex is thinking this way. They are small, but what if Robert Williams does show up tonight? Well, that'll be interesting. It could really affect their chemistry in some ways, and they may not exactly. Bringing somebody back in, it could be kind of like janky at first, and it could hurt them in some ways. I really did kind of want to face them at least once without Robert Williams this season. So hopefully that is still the case. But they are kind of tipping their hat that he may play tonight. I'm not lying, y'all. I really am on Robert Williams the third watch today. Now, as far as if he doesn't play, obviously they are a small core. And in some ways, that's why I want Gary to start, and because I think that he will just runs with them. He has more experience gaming up against them. In some ways, we may need his offense right away against the Celtics, and he's also a very good defender in the backcourt, and that we may need him just to be out there pestering the Celtics with Fred VanVleet as a team, like as a duo at the top. So yeah, I like the idea of attacking the paint. In fact, this is something that the Nets aren't very good at in some ways, and it's something that could have helped them in possibly overcoming the Celtics last night. The points in the paint battle in that game last night was 38-36. So it was very even. The Celtics winning by just 2 points, but that's not a lot of like scoring in the paint. We've seen games as recently, like in the Orlando game, we scored like 60 points in the paint. So it really was like a 3-point shootout from the outside. So that in some ways tells me that, all right, they're not trying to do stuff down the paint as much. It really is, we got to watch out for them on the outside with their shooting. And then obviously the slashing of Tatum and Brown is something that we need to contain or kind of control. If they get to like mid range and they're doing their little running jumpers, just agitate them. Hopefully they'll miss them. And yeah, but on our end of the court, we need to bully them. We need to get them on our backs, and we need dunks right next to the basket. We need OG to just like throw it down on Marcus Smarts and bounce it off his face. Yeah, yeah, I want to see that. But I don't know. We'll have to see if Marcus is available and Robert Williams III. Those are the two big question marks from their lineup. Yeah, there was a funny, weird. This just reminded me of a call in the 905 game the other day where Ron Harper he got a delay a game called on him because the ball went through the hoop and he was standing under the hoop when it came through, and the ball bounced off his head and then it went out of bounds. And he didn't even try and hit it or touch it or anything. He just it just hit his head and it bounced out of bounds. And the ref called a delay a game on him. He didn't touch it or nothing. It's just that his head hit it. It was such a weird call. I hadn't seen anything like that ever before. Somebody get a delay a game because the ball bounced off their hair and their head coming through the hoop. Monique saying, Gio, the Giants of Africa, Nelson Mandela Gala was a success. Lex, Tom, may not make it home in time for Raptors tonight. Hold it down for me. Enjoy. Are you going to the game tonight, Monique? Are you going to be at the Boston game tonight? I hope you are, and you bring that good energy. Yeah, don't worry. I may not be there, but Tom probably will be there. But yeah, maybe I'll check in just because it seems like it's kind of fun just to be in there and kind of messing around in there during that. Cowboys saying, thanks, everybody. Enough love. Let's go Raps. That's right. That's right. That baby boy hopefully will help like Fred VanVleet Jr. helps the Raptors win, rise up. Duke Rocks is saying it would make sense to start Koloko for rim protection and make the Celtics players shoot more. This way we don't have to double or triple team as much and gives you the ability to protect the 3-point line. Okay, I can see your strategy in that. I just really worry, that Koloko is just not savvy or sound enough in some ways that he doesn't make mistakes or cause liabilities for us. That's really the thing that bothers me about this. In fact, I don't like that he's not doing 905 at all. In fact, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that Malachi's development's been hurt by how little he's done the G League. And I think that Koloko needs the G League also, and that we're doing him a disservice. We really should be doing him just like we did Delano last year. And I don't agree with them not letting him go down there yet. It's really like not good in some ways. In fact, I feel like he should be down there to a degree more than he should be playing for us. And, this is something that they really is a gray area with him. That, he could really help the 905 with their record to a degree also. And he could be a big dog in a little pond, and he could get some crazy ass stats, and it could be very, very good for his offensive game. So I don't totally agree with him being just solely on the Raptors main roster and not getting any G League. That's been a problem. If he starts Koloko tonight, then you'll probably be dead on for exactly why he's doing it. For extra rim protection, just in case these guys are getting the rim. But like we said, I don't think they're actually really attacking the rim completely. It's more that they stop and pop on mid-range, or they just try and shoot threes. So who knows? G saying Koloko has more blocks than Gobert this season. That's fantastic. I think he should have more blocks because we talked about the phenomena of him getting fouls when he should be getting an extra block. So I really do believe he should be in the top leaders of block shots in the league right now. But I haven't looked at it. He may be actually near there, but I haven't looked at it. I'd like to see where he's ranked. Let's see. Tom Duke saying Gobert sure did another cheap move yesterday. Tripped to someone on purpose. Koloko's more mature. Well, it's got to be frustrating for Minnesota. And I called this. It's like, look, you go ahead and get two of the best centers in the league. Doesn't mean it's going to work. In fact, you kind of fucked up Anthony Edwards' vibe and what he likes to do because it's so clogged up now. And they're not even winning that well. Like, what is going on with their standings right now? Minnesota. They're not even in the play-in right now. They're 11-12, and they're not having success with their new big acquisition, and they mortgaged the future also. So what the hell did y'all do, Timberwolves? That's what I'm telling y'all. Getting these big names this summer is not necessarily a home run or anything good. And congratulations to crime dog Fred McGriff on your induction to the Baseball Hall of Fame. I love hearing that you're on the list and you're going to be getting in. I love Fred McGriff. But anyway, I'm just saying these big moves this summer. Rudy Gobert, okay, I'm glad we didn't get him on the Raptors. Some of y'all were talking about getting him on the Raptors this summer. Oh, Donovan Mitchell, get him on the Raptors. No, let Cleveland go ahead and do that. Because like sometimes these moves aren't really additions. They're not necessarily good for the team overall in the end. So, yeah, it's interesting what's happening with Gobert. And I like that Koloko's got better blocks than him. That's awesome. Mike saying Konono would have twice the amount of blocks if he had the reps knowing him already. I think he would have at least maybe one block per game so far more because there's at least one call, a foul that he gets when it's really a clean block. And we watch. You'll see it again. Tom Duke saying, yeah, haha, that was a yo-yo for the ref. You're talking about, that was a yo-yo. That wasn't a baby bell? Oh, yeah, Josh Tiven's a yo-yo expert. So you put a yo-yo in there. It looked like a baby bell to me. That's funny, Tom Duke. Okay, Randolph Silling, new Raptors freaks. Congratulations. That's right. Everybody's happy for Bradley today. And we know he's going to be raising Raptor fans. Tom Duke saying there is no lasagna or asparagus. If there were, Tom would know. If there was an emoticon for lasagna, there would be there. Maybe you just put a Garfield head there for lasagna. That's what lasagna, the symbol for lasagna should be in emoticon world. It should just be a Garfield fat head. Something like that. Yeah, I hate Mondays. John, get me out of here. What the fuck, Garfield? What the fuck? Did you like Garfield, that comic? I was kind of into Garfield. I had a bunch of his books when I was a little kid. But what a cynical, lazy ass. Like, he's always so pissed off. And, the way he treated Odie. And, that was something there. All right, let's keep going. Duke Rocks is saying Fred VanVleet has to be on point tonight, and Koloko needs to stay out of foul trouble. But I agree with Logical. Some of those Koloko calls are like, what the fuck, ref? Yeah, they're clean. Like, he's not hitting their arm. He's getting the block. And you can tell that they're kind of like not getting the call right because they're always delayed call. It's like, all right, look, you know that he blocked it, but you don't want to give the rookie any respect. So you're giving respect to the vet that he blocked by saying it's a foul. And you're calling it late. We can tell when you're calling it late because you're processing in your head. Oh, wait. Oh, that's a rookie. Foul. We can tell. We can tell. You can either going to call it like right away if it's a foul, or you try and see what happens in the play, and then you call it afterwards. Yeah, refs, we can see when that's happening. So hopefully these guys won't do that to Koloko tonight because it's a pretty good. I don't want to say they're a good ref crew, though, because whenever I say that, it's sometimes bad. So we'll just say they seem like they're a good ref crew, and we'll see how it goes down. Let's see. Tom Duke saying Siakam has a rough time versus Boston, and obviously him having a great game is a must for us. I never thought that Siakam has a hard time against them. I've never perceived that, but maybe Tom's seen something. I don't know. We'll see. OG seems like he always has a good game against Boston. He really is friends with Jaylen Brown. They're friends. And they take their rivalry and their matchup against each other for fun. Like it's very much a healthy competitive kind of thing between a lot of the Raptors and the Celtics. That they do get up to play against each other. And the teammates that were in the bubble series for Boston and the teammates that were in the bubble series for us definitely really play off of that whole 7-game series and the rivalry that was built in it in the bubble, and one of the best series ever played in the playoffs in NBA history. So it's like, OG, Pascal, Fred, Chris Boucher, and then you got, Jason, Jalen, Grant Williams, Marcus Smart. It very much is like we remember that series, and there's a lot of that is in the context of any Boston versus Toronto matchup at this point, is that you really do go back in that touchstone of that 7-game series in the bubble, and that's the history. And there was a lot of Jalen versus OG in that series that was really impressive, and it carries over to today. In fact, I think OG really enjoys trying the challenge of trying to shut down Jason and Jalen and do his best against them. So, yeah, I like that. Alistair's saying, I think Nick needs to start Juancho. Well, Juancho is probably not even going to play tonight, Alistair. He did twist his ankle against Orlando, and he's doubtful for tonight. He's on the injury list. So I think that's a very much a long shot that Juancho would start tonight. So if Juancho doesn't start, then that would lean towards me, what I was saying with Thad, that you and I may be like on the side of like, let's get a vet out there, somebody that can play really strong against Horford, because Horford is a vet too. And, Horford actually killed Koloko in the preseason a couple times from the 2 games we played against them in the preseason. I can remember Horford doing out vetting some of our young bigs and Koloko in particular. So I don't know if it's smart to play Koloko tonight just because it's the Celtics. They're very established. And if you're going to do a 5th starter, depending on matchup, Nick Nurse, you might want to start Thad Young tonight. Let me just put it that way. If you're not going to start Thad, maybe you go back to your team from last year and get Gary in there. That's what I would recommend. If you want like Gary off the bench as a 6-man right now and what he's doing, and he is actually in the 6-man standings now in the odds for it since the switch. And he does have a very good scoring average as a guy off the bench. And if he gets more games off the bench than starting, then he would qualify for that award. And it could very well be like, depending on how he does and how consistent he is, he could really very much be in the running for 6-man of the year. So that could be, I don't know. I don't know if this is what I think. I don't think you should start Koloko tonight. I'm going to agree to disagree with some of y'all, but I agree that he should start either Thad Young or Gary Trent Jr. tonight as the 5th starter with the other 4 guys. Let's see. Leslie's saying, good morning, Raptor Freaks. Going to the game tonight. All right. We got more great Raptor Freaks head into the building tonight. That's fantastic. Leslie, get loud. And please make that building loud when the Raptors are playing defense against the Celtics offense. Just get those defense chants going good. Make me proud and just get that building rocking, because it can really be a factor in helping the Raptors. We want to help them as much as we can. And y'all do have more power than you think. Just don't think that, what I do in the game won't matter. Well, it can. It really very much can. Trust me. And if we do a collective effort, we have the good, right energy in there, and we really make that building rock, look out. We can very much be that 6-man to help the Raptors to a victory tonight against the Celtics. Let's see. Lolita is saying, good windy morning, Raptor Freaks. Raptors, NBA champions 2023. Toronto Raptors, NBA champions 2023. 2023 NBA champions, the Toronto Raptors. Just say it into existence. That's what we're trying to do here. Bishop is here. Good to see you, Bishop. And he's saying, good morning, freaks. Good to see him. Skater Dylan's here. Let's go. Skater Dylan is a little bit of on both sides today. Skater Dylan he can't lose today. He's going to be happy with either the team's winning tonight. He's very much playing both sides of the fence today. Good to see you today, Dylan. And I hope you have a good Monday. All right, let's see. Monique is saying, hopefully Celtics are turned out. I'm going tonight. Let's hope we double team Tatum and Brown. Shoot your free throws, defense, shoot the 3, attack the paint, and everything else. All right, I love hearing this. So we got Cool Cat, we got Leslie, we got Monique, We got a good contingency of Raptor freaks heading down there. And these are powerful, strong Raptor freaks with a lot of good energy around them. And they will bring this. Monique, Leslie, Cool Cat, you bring it and kill it down there. We are dependent on y'all to be fan leaders in the stands to get the crowd right and the vibe strong. Yes, I love it. And let's see what her keys to the victory are. Let's hope we double team Tatum and Brown. Shoot your free throws. Defense, shoot the three, attack the paint, and everything else. All right, yeah. Hopefully the Celtics are a little tired from late night travel and a little groggy and a little like maybe, oh, I've played a lot of minutes last night. I mean, let's look and see how many minutes their important guys played last night. I mean, okay, 40 minutes for Jaylen Brown, 37 minutes for Jason Tatum, 32 minutes for Malcolm Brogdon, 33 minutes for Al Horford, 36 minutes for Grant Williams. That's pretty heavy minutes in some ways. So, they could be a little groggy from late night travel. And as far as double teaming Tatum and Brown, they're similar kind of players to Luka. That they have, Tatum in particularly does a lot of the kind of same things that Luka does when he tries to operate on the offensive end. So maybe we can do a little bit of what we did against Luka when we beat the Mavericks a couple weeks ago, where we kind of switch OG between single coverage on these guys and then trapping doubles, because the trapping doubles can be very effective, but it really is that we're going to have to be sharp with them and come very quickly and accurately, because the Celtics pick apart that kind of doubling very easily. In some ways, it's kind of like maybe we should stay at home and just let them play one-on-one and try not to double too much. OG can really pester Jaylen Brown, and maybe he's enough. And we don't need to bring somebody over, because as soon as you bring somebody over, he's throwing the ball over and boom, Malcolm Brogdon's got an open three in the corner. And that's something I want to limit. So maybe in some ways we want to stay home and not double as much. Now, if we double, it better be a very intense, sure trap that absolutely contains the ball. Because if you don't contain the ball on that trap, then you're fucked. The Celtics will find a score somewhere else. So that's the thing about doing what you're saying, Monique. We're going to double down on Tatum and Brown. We better come quickly and accurately and very consistently, because they will find the hole and they will beat us and beat the trap if we don't trap the ball efficiently or effectively. So it's a risk. It's a risk. In some ways, I'd rather them play one-on-one and just let their own individual great talents athletically just try and beat them, whether it's Siakam on Tatum or Anunoby on Jaylen Brown. And so let's see, shoot your free throws for sure. They got to make their free throws. You've had good free throw shooting games in the past couple weeks. You've had bad free throw shooting games. You're playing the Celtics. You're playing the best team in the East right now. You have to make your free throws, Raptors. Don't fuck around with this. We lose a close game and y'all miss a bunch of free throws that we should have gotten. Yeah, we're going to blame that at the end of the game. So just take care of business. Make the damn free throws. You're playing the Celtics today. You need to make them. No bad concentration. No, take your time. You see Pascal will take a breath and just take a moment. That's smart. That's him taking the time, because he knows as a vet after all this time in the NBA that taking his time at the lane when you're shooting a free throw, you need to just collect yourself and don't rush that, Raptors. Sometimes I feel like y'all get up there too quick and you just fling it up there and it's not really a good shot. So really concentrate on your free throws, and you need to make them tonight. This is an opponent you cannot fucking have very much of a margin of error, and a margin of error is missed free throws. So make your free throws tonight. And as far as defense, shooting the three, yeah. This is a huge part of how they beat Brooklyn last night, is their three-point shooting. It's really a lot of the stats. You look at the team stats and the box score, and it's pretty even between Brooklyn and Boston from last night. The difference was three-point shooting, that they shot just a few more and made a few more and shot that a little bit better. And that was the difference. It was they made 6 more threes than the Nets. And that is the difference right there. That's 18 points, and they beat them by 11. So Brooklyn beat them in other categories, but still had 18-point differential in three-pointers. And that's the thing. We don't shoot very good threes right now. Well, hopefully we can shoot pretty good, because it could be a little bit of a shootout. And it's important for us to keep up somewhat with the Celtics and how much points they're garnering from 3-point shooting. If they get like 23s and we only have 3 threes, we're going to fucking lose. So we've got to cut down on their threes being made. And we have to make threes ourselves also to kind of keep that in balance, because that is where they'll beat us, is in the 3-point shooting. If we cannot contain them on the 3-point line and we do not shoot well on threes, it's going to be very hard for us to win this game tonight. I'm going to tell you that right now. Attack the paint. Yeah, we got the big guys and we need to go at them and get easy baskets, but we do need a balance. And it could very well be that the outside threes are all garnered from attacking the paint. Maybe you go in there, Pascal, and you draw like 3 defenders, and then boom, you're throwing it over your shoulder, and Gary's in the corner, and boom, that's a 3. That may be how we have to get our 3-point shooting. Don't try and beat them on the outside, Fred, and just kind of dribble. In fact, I forgot to mention that whole 3 that he took and when he tried to shoot over Bol on Saturday was hilarious. I should have mentioned it yesterday on the reaction, but I forgot to. And yeah, why were you doing that, Fred? I mean, I know you're laughing about that, but that's Bol, man. And that was hilarious. He blocked the shit out of you. But then you did get your revenge a little bit later. But that was a hilarious little sequence when Fred dared Bol and Bol blocked him. But so, yeah, I want them to touch the paint. This is what I'm saying. Every time down the court tonight against the Celtics, Raptors, make it mandatory that the paint touch happens and still get 3-point shots off of the paint touch. But you got to take it in and make them collapse. And then, boom, you'll have better outside shots. Until you do that, you won't. If you just try and work it around the horn, around the top, you won't beat them. They're going to keep catching up on their rotations. You need to take it in and get Pascal and OG to draw like a couple of defenders to the paint and then kick it out. That's what they do. So we can use a little bit of their playbook against them. Let's do that ourselves. But I love your keys to victory, Monique. And I think you pretty comprehensively covered some of the very important things the Raptors need to do well tonight to beat the Celtics. Alex is saying, why didn't the Raptors foul Claxton all game like the Celtics did last night? The man is shooting 45%. We could have just won by fouling him all game. That is an interesting strategy, the hack-a-shack. And yeah, Claxton is weird. You know what? That is probably a really good kind of strategy to a degree, maybe on a minimal level, but you don't want to do it too much. That's interesting. Yeah, he's 1 for 6 at the free throw line last night. That's horrible. That is horrible. Well, let's remember this for the last time we play Brooklyn, which is going to be a week from this Friday. It's not this week, but next week. But that's an interesting strategy. Now, maybe part of it is that we had foul trouble in that Brooklyn game, in particular with Fred and Pascal. And we couldn't afford them getting 6 fouls or anything like that because they were kind of skirting with being fouled out in the game against Brooklyn. So, yeah, that was part of it. But that's interesting. And this is good information for later. And maybe you're right. Maybe we should have been doing this to Claxton more. It's just because he's such a bad free throw shooter. And like him getting such easy. The thing I don't like is when the Raptors foul guys and they still make it and they get an N1. If you can foul somebody and do a bad foul, make it count and make sure they don't make the basket and they have to shoot 2 free throws. Because that's the problem. We're half-ass bad fouling, and then they're making the shot still. And then that becomes a 3-point opportunity. I don't like that. If you're going to make a foul, take it and earn it. I mean, really use it. Like, get value out of it. Like, really get a good foul in. You know, get a good one in. Yeah. Let's see. Skater Dylan saying, I can't wait to see it. These are 2 of the best teams in the East. See, Dylan's giving us flowers and stuff like that. Thank you, Dylan. And yeah, I know you're going to enjoy the game. It'll be fun to watch in general. That's just how I feel when we play the Spurs. I can't lose because I love both teams. Monique saying tonight would be a great night to see Chris go off. Yeah, I'd love to see Christopher Boucher step up tonight and get back to kind of where he was maybe 10 days ago with a double-double. Just really, really annoying on the boards. I think this is a good team for him to get in there and sneak in there and do a bunch of stuff. Once again, I think he's like the other guys, and he has an extra special get-up for when they play the Celtics. I know Fred has this, OG has this, Pascal has it. Hopefully Chris has it too. So, yeah, I'd like to see Chris reemerge and have a very good statistical game. It's not that he's had bad games recently. It's just he hasn't had a lot of stats like he had 10 days ago. And he's fine. He's playing well. The energy's really good. And he's doing a lot of little things, like dirty things. But the stats sheet has not looked right with him recently. But he has played well. Cool Cat saying starting Koloko will give him experience for playoffs. No need Raptors 905. He's defensive player of the year in college. NBA messed up second round draft. Just like Scotty needs the NBA experience. Okay, I get your points, Cool Cat. I just wonder. Like, I seriously think that Malachi has been hurt by not going to G League enough. And it may be an ego thing for him. Maybe they're protecting his ego and saying, no, we don't want him to get in this mindset that he's a G League player. He has to be above it or something. I don't know. They shouldn't do this. In fact, in some ways, I wish that they just made it mandatory for everybody. I don't give a shit if they're a lottery pick. You can be the first pick in the draft. You should probably go to G League for at least a little while in your rookie year. And some people say, why? Why do that? Well, it's good for the G League, first of all, because you get more star status down there. And it's just good for the player. This is good for a whole bunch of different reasons. I wish there wasn't this status thing between G League and main roster that some people are just like, oh, I'm above it and all this stuff. Because this is why just Justin Champagny is so angry about being down there. Well, what if we could get rid of that stigma and just be like, you know what? Everybody goes down there. Because that's really why I feel this way. I think Scotty would have had a little bit of something down there, would have been good, even if he just played one game down there. I think everybody should do G League at least once, because in some ways it grounds like an ego. Also, it's like, look, you have it good. You're up top. Yeah, you probably will stay in the main league your whole career, but this is where you could be if you don't work hard enough. And give them a little taste. At least one game for every single rookie should be in G League at some point. And even if it's an injury rehab coming back, I like that too. I think that baseball, the way they do it with like AAA and AA, bringing guys back that way to get their swing back before they just come straight into the major leagues is smart. So I don't understand this. Like, what is the big deal if we send Koloko down there for one game or something like that, just to give him a taste? But yeah, I get it. I get it what you guys are saying, that he's a defensive player of the year for Arizona last year, that he comes already this and this and this, but he still is a second round pick. And, it would really help him. I really do think it would help him, just like it helped Boucher in some ways. So I don't know. I'm going to agree to disagree on this, and we'll see how things develop. Like, he could still very much go down there at some point for some reason. And I kind of hope that he does. I really do. All right, let's keep going. Evelyn's here. Good morning. Good vibes to all, including some refs who can't get over the Raps team. Evelyn, you're awesome. Cry, laughy faces, and peace in the Raptor. I love it. Good vibes to you also, Evelyn, on this great Monday morning. And I hope we win against the Celtics tonight. Hugh's saying, I don't like Koloko constantly complaining and talking to the refs. It's not a good look, especially for an early second round pick. He will get his calls, but he should let his game do the talking, was what I think. I think that, yeah, I agree with a lot of what you're saying there. I think his game does need to do more talking, that he really hasn't asserted himself. This is part of the reason why I want him to go down to 905, because he'll have it so much easier. He'll be able to throw it down. He'll be able to dunk it. He'll be able to fight through contact and get more success. And that may be the easier path in some ways, because then he can apply it. And okay, it's a little bit harder up here, but at least he's going through the motions and having success. That's why I think that we need this, is that he's not aggressive enough. He's not like strong enough down there. He really does get pushed around. He does not finish well near the basket right now. And this is one area he should do very, very well. He can almost just grab the rim. So he should be making everything within 3 feet of the basket. I'm sorry. And he doesn't. He comes up soft and he gets pushed around and he misses. And that's kind of why I want him to go down to 905, is just clean some of that shit up and start throwing it down there and dominate and as a big fish in a small pond. And then boom, take some of those lessons and bring them up to the big level. And you may have more success after a little stint down on the 905. Please, if you hear me, coaching staff of the Raptors and Nick Nurse, if you hear any of this stuff I'm talking about, please listen to my suggestions and possibly think about it seriously, because I think it'll help. Now, as far as Koloko talking to refs, it's important for him to establish relationships with them. And it may be not as bad as you think. He could be that, like, he's very much just trying to get into a dialogue with them and say, hi, I'm Koloko and I'm new in the league. I'm a rookie, but I am a defensive player from the Pac-10 last year, player of the year. And yeah, please, could you give me some more respect at some point? And yeah, it'll come eventually, but he does have to have a dialogue with them. I don't know if he's actually that, like, It could be like, "Oh, come on," or something like he could be you could see him like acting, but he may be saying stuff that's very like harmless. And he's not actually like getting the refs pissed at him. I really do think they're just treating him like a second round rookie. And that's what it is. And the Raptors shouldn't have gotten such a good player in the second round. And in some ways, the NBA is mad. And they're like, they won't give him his block shots. I don't know why. It's crazy. G saying Celtics are experienced enough to know how to exploit Koloko. They will get him into foul trouble. I agree on one hand. On the other, the height may be a benefit. Yeah, CG can see both sides of the argument here. And there's really what both of them are. The Celtics are a very experienced, savvy team, and he looks like a treat to them in some ways because he is green. That is the term. He's green. He is not ripened. He is very much green as an NBA player. And we don't necessarily want a green weakness in the starting lineup if we're trying to establish certain things at the beginning of the game. He may be a good person to come in off the bench as a look defensively in case we need that. But at first, I'd much rather start somebody like Kem Burge tonight over Koloko because Kem is solid. Kem's a vet. We know what we get with Kem, and they won't be able to exploit him in certain ways like that. So that's what I'm saying is like that's my biggest argument with this. We're playing against a very experienced team that is savvy and they know how to pick other teams apart with their offense. And Koloko would be a big, big weakness if we start him tonight. I'm serious, Nick. Don't do it. Don't do it. Y'all may think this is like a benefit, have him out there, but I don't think it is going to be a benefit. And that we need to go a vet way tonight. We need to match a vet experienced team that was in the finals last year with veteran smarts. And we can't be green out there at the beginning of the game against the team of green. So let's see. Mike saying Konono needs a 5 to 10 foot touch, and there's too many mouths to feed on the big club. A couple games down could get that playoff ready in a sense of not being schemed out easy from fronting high. See, Mike's actually putting the specifics on what I'm trying to say here. And if anybody knows about 905 development and what kind of benefits it can give a player, it's Mike. Because this is kind of his bread and butter and what he studies on his YouTube channel. And he talks a lot about in a lot of his pieces recently how 905 has benefited people like Delano Banton. And he knows, and this makes a lot of sense what he's saying. He could go down there and get like dominate himself. He doesn't have to be like the fifth option or just like a dump off or a garbage man. They could actually try and run offense through him and really kind of like try and develop his hooks and his offensive moves around the basket. Maybe this year they don't even want to try and do that. They just want him to totally focus on like defensive schemes, rotations, playing well within our defensive system. And it's not like we're even trying to scheme anything for him offensively. Well, I think that may be like a misjudgment that they may need to try and start early development with his offensive game already, because I think he has an offensive game and that it's going to be coming in the years to come. And you see flashes of it already. And I think that he's going to be a good offensive player. And that's why, in some ways, I want him to go down there. Because you look at Chris Boucher in the G League and what happened with him, that was a huge reason why he's still in the league right now. That if he hadn't gone down to the G League and became the defensive player and the MVP and won a G League championship and all that stuff that he did down there, I don't think he'd be in the league right now. That G League kind of saved his career in some ways. So, I can see where Mike's very specifically pointed out where G League could help Koloko. Michael Borland's here. Hasn't seen Michael in a bit. It's good to see you, Michael. Two hardest working teams in the NBA going at it. Gotta love it. Yeah, that's going to be part of the fun. Who's going to outwork who? Who's going to step up? Can we raptor them, or are they going to raptor us? I really want us to be the team raptoring them. That means getting to the loose balls, winning the 50-50 balls, the 50-50 battles, getting the rebounds, just getting the rotations right, having the right energy, just out hustling, out energying them. That is how to raptor the other team. And I want the Raptors to raptor the Celtics. I don't want the Celtics to raptor the Raptors. And that means coming with the right energy and attitude. And he's right. These are two of the hardest working teams in the league. And thank you for being here this morning, Michael. All right, let's keep going. G saying Hawks drama. Oh, yeah. Thank you for bringing this up. I've seen on Twitter from Eric Kareen saying that Trey and the coach got into it and Trey did not show up for the game. Nate McMillan and Trey Young are not getting along. And this is crazy. This is dumpster fire stuff. This is the kind of stuff that can really figure out where teams are going because it's such a cluster right now. This is not good for Hawks Nation. This is your franchise player and number one, and he is not seeing eye to eye with the coach, Nate McMillan. And he didn't even come to the game the other night, which they won, by the way, without him in his absence. That is a dumpster fire. And yeah, I don't know how much, I don't know how that's going to go. Just glad it has nothing to do with us, and it's another Eastern team. But yeah, that's very interesting. Atlanta Hawks drama. The coach and Trae Young are not getting along. Skater Dylan saying, if the Heat don't work out for Kyle, would you guys be happy to have him back? No, we've gone down that road. Kyle's too expensive at this point for what you get out of him. And we love Kyle, and he'll be one of the greatest Raptors of all time. He is currently still, but that will change over time. And Pascal's kind of closer and closer to taking that from him. But no, that ship has sailed. I mean, if we do the whole retirement thing, that's fine, but it better be a little contract, and he may be just for a day. Or it could also be that he plays his last season with us, but he's very much at the end of the bench. So yeah, I don't like going back to players just because of sentimentality sometimes. I wanted the Vince Carter return just to heal wounds, but it didn't happen. And that would have been good. But Kyle, we don't need to heal any wounds with him. He will want to retire as a Raptor. And that means probably just sign him to a 1 day and then he retires as a Raptor. But otherwise, I don't think him playing for us down the road is feasible or going to happen. Let's just put it that way. Mo's saying tomorrow's Jack's Christmas sing-along. Just a reminder to all of you, let's go Raptors. Let's go Jack. Yeah, Jack Armstrong, Danforth Music Hall tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Bells, jingle all the way. Oh, you go, Jack. I kind of want to go down there for this show just for fun. I don't know. I don't know how sold out it is either. It doesn't seem like, I don't know. Maybe we need to go down there and support Jack. I don't know. Everybody's going to Apollo to see Drake instead. All right, let's keep going. Cool Cat saying Pascal only had one bad game against the Celtics, and that was in the bubble when his shot was messed up. He has good games against Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, and Miami. Yeah, I think that's more true. Cool Cat saying, I don't think it's Pascal. He had a problem in the bubble just because he had a problem in the bubble. And that wasn't just limited to the Celtics series. That was in the series earlier too, that he had his struggles with conditioning and different things. He wasn't the normal Pascal. And he's played very well against the Celtics since then. So I didn't understand that message earlier that said that. And Cool Cat's right. He's had good games against all kinds of different people. Leslie's saying we need to start Fred, Chris, Kem, Pascal, and Gary. So she's taking Scotty out of the starting lineup, and she's really going heavy on experience. And I like this in some ways. In fact, this is kind of a cool lineup in a way. And Scotty can be that juice off the bench, that guy who kind of comes in and gives us a energy boost instead of Gary. So yeah, I can see what Leslie's saying here, and I don't hate it. I know, maybe some people are like, you gotta start Scotty. You gotta start Scotty. But in some ways, I'm like, you know what? This kind of makes sense in some ways. I mean, what if you just switch Gary for Scotty? And then that's a very big lineup with just Fred and Scotty in the backcourt. Oh, you want Chris in there and not even OG. I just realized that. Holy crap. I don't know. You got to start OG. Yeah, you can't go. You can't have OG not in the starting lineup. He's just playing too well right now, and he is necessary for guarding Tatum and Brown right from the start. So, but that's a very interesting starting lineup, Leslie. Very interesting that you would have Birch and Chris Boucher in that starting lineup. All right, Hughes saying Jaylen Brown has been on a tear. I'm more worried about him than Tatum. Yeah, I've always been that way with them though too. When I see the Celtics, Jaylen Brown is their man. He's the dude that's very scary to me in these problems. All right, the Raptors 905 are tipping off in 15 minutes, y'all. I should probably wrap this up soon. I will probably in the next little bit, just so we can watch the game. Duke Rock's saying, agree, Cool Cat. Siakam has come a long way since the bubble. Yeah, some people can say that just from the bubble series. Sure, that's apropos, but not since. It's not since. Siakam's had good success against the Celtics since. Bishop saying attack, rebound, free throw. Bishop's 3 keys to victory: attack, aggressiveness, attack. Put them on their heels and attack them and then rebound. Win the rebounding battle, get a lot of offensive rebounds tonight, dominate the boards, Chris Boucher, and boom, these are keys to victory right there, and hit the free throws, of course. Tom Duke saying Pascal Siakam averaged 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists in 3 games versus the Celtics last year. Sorry about my fake news earlier. He does play well against them. Okay, so Tom was the one who said it. Then he fact-checked himself, and now he's corrected and fact-checked himself. And in some ways, he's having a conversation with himself because of this. And I love that about Tom. And this is the thing on this channel. I am not bigger than myself. That I will admit when I made a mistake. And Tom had to fact-check himself, and he found out he was wrong, and now he's admitting it. And that's kind of cool in a way. It's like, Tom, really awesome that you went and looked at that. So, yeah, it's not fake news. You just assume maybe a little bit, but you know what that happens when you assume too much. I don't even have to say the rest of it. But, yeah, Tom, I'm glad you went fact-checked. And thank you for giving us the very specific stats of that situation, Pascal, against the Celtics last year. Cool Cat saying, I don't want to double team anyone. Just man-to-man, team defenses, and defend the 3. No uncontested threes. Yeah, we don't want to see any wild rotations where they are throwing the ball absolutely over all the way to the corner and everybody's on one end of the court and we have somebody running like a wild man at him. Like, wow, we don't want to see any of that tonight. Stay at home. Stay with your dude. Go one-on-one and just rely on the premium athleticism and talent of each individual on the Raptors instead of the trapping scheme with the whole players. Sure, if you have a great trap opportunity and you know that they won't beat it in that moment and you can really lock it down in the corner at half court, do it, Raptors. But otherwise, don't try not to do that. You have to make sure it takes that you have it contained, because if you do not have that trap contained, these Celtics will score on us. So that's the whole gamble right there. It's not even gambling for a steal like Gary would. It's gambling on whether you should go and double them, or will they beat the double with rotating and pushing the ball around until they get that open man and get that shot. And I like this idea because I really think that it shows a trust in our players. It's like, look, you're a great individual defender, OG. We want you to just take Jalen by yourself. You can do it. We believe in you. And we got people that will help you behind you just in case, but just really try and lock them down yourself by yourself. And, because this isn't like in some ways what we do against Luka is we don't want him to have the ball. We don't want him to pass. We don't have him to shoot or nothing. And that's why we trap him so hard when we play the Mavericks. Well, in some ways they have 2 guys active. Or it could be that they're getting burned by them. And we're like, damn it, Nick, why didn't you watch the Raptor Freak at 9:30 this morning? But Cool Cat, I'm with you on this. I think that playing man-to-man may be the smart way to go. Monique's saying, glad you really like my takes. For some reason, I like today's refs. 905 better win today or else. Fingers will be pointed out. Just bring in new guys. Don't move Vital. Yeah, I like Christian Vital. I don't want him to move him either. I don't even know if it's bringing in new guys. Like I said, why isn't Delano back down there this year? Why isn't Christian doing something down there? Those guys could both help 905 a lot. And I guess they don't care. It's like a development team. It doesn't really matter if they win down there. It's really for development and just developing guys. Well, Delano had a really good year last year, partly because of so much 905. And I wish that Christian was doing something similar to him. It's too bad. Monique, your takes are always welcome here. You're one of the most astute Raptor fans in Raptor Fan Nation. And I really appreciate, once again, your presence here all the time. And I very much do value your insight and your intelligence in basketball. G saying Scotty can impose himself in the paint in this game. I hope so. I like to see more built off of what he did against Orlando. 8 of 10 around the basket. Very, very good shooting. Very, very good game by him the other day. And yeah, I think he can do this too. I'd like to see him bully. I don't want to see him going up against Al Horford like that, if that's the matchup. But if he's against somebody like Smart or Brown, even, a smaller guy who's a little bit smaller than him, yeah, I want to see some bully ball. And bully ball by him and OG would be real nice to see tonight. Duke saying, expect to see some yapping between OG and Tatum crying to the refs. I'm the golden boy. He's being too physical with me. Well, that is something we're going to have to watch out for. But listen, let's think about this. What happened in the preseason with Jason Tatum? He got a tech real quick. And didn't they almost threw him out? Like, didn't they throw him out? They threw him out of the game in one of those games, didn't he? There was some weird tech stuff with Tatum where you got a quick tech, and I was like, whoa, they're doing this year. Golden Boys aren't being protected by the referees. You can actually get a technical called on somebody complaining, like LeBron or Jason Tatum. Interesting. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how they call this. We're really got an eagle eye on this. We're watching y'all, Josh Tiven. And we want to make sure that it's on the up and up and consistent at both ends. Don't be giving the Celtics any kind of weird golden boy treatment. And we will be watching you. And tomorrow we will assess it and talk about it tomorrow. Hopefully about a Raptors win and the referees were good is what we want to be saying tomorrow. Cool Cat saying that Tom Duke, you're excused. You were confusing the bubble, which is just an exception due to lockdown, and Pascal not being able to touch a ball in Toronto for months on end. The only player locked out. Yeah, it's all good. And Tom Duke saying totally saw the stretch of stats from 2020. Yeah, it's all good, Tom. We block out Tampa. We block out Tampa because we're not even really talking about that. And that was a gulf in between the bubble and then last year. So let's see. Hugh saying Tatum and OG are good friends. Only thing I'm worried about is Tatum's uncalled push-offs. It's something that he does all the time and gets away with. Yeah, it'll be good to look and see whether he's doing that kind of stuff tonight. We're just going to have to go in there with a good effort and protect our home court. We have a great home record. We have a great home fan crowd, and we just need to utilize our advantages, which is home court, home field, home crowd. They're being tired on a second night of back-to-back. So maybe Nick needs to come with rotations quick and fast. So we're keeping fresh and keeping them running all over the place constantly. This is something Eric Curry didn't do good enough on the last game for 905. He was playing against a team with only 8 guys. He should have ran them off the court. And in some ways, this is a really sound strategy for the Raptors tonight. Run the Celtics off the court. Just be so crazy, up and down, chaos, energy, running back and forth. And who knows, by the fourth quarter, they may be a little winded and tired from playing Kevin and Kyrie last night in Brooklyn. That's a really sound strategy. So use these advantages, Nick. Don't play your guys all heavy minutes tonight. Really push guys in fresh over and over again and keep that energy up high on the Raptors all times on the court. And maybe you will tire out the Celtics to a degree by the end of the game. So I want to see some good rotations. Do not ride 5 guys hard all game long. Seriously, that would be a folly because you would be not taking advantage of one of the advantages that y'all have is the fatigue factor. So do the right thing and play, an 8 to 9, 10 rotation with really putting in fresh guys constantly and keeping the energy up on the court the whole time and make the Celtics work. We work. They have to work too. So we need to work. Go in there, punch your time clock, and get out there on the court right away as soon as the jump ball and make it happen right away. Work. Yeah, I like it. Bishop's saying, can we send you something directly in the mail? Yeah, you can, Bishop. I'm not going to put my address directly up right here, but Bishop, if you want, email me. You can find my email on my channel in the contact section. Email me, and I will email you an address that you can send me something to if you'd like to send me something. Hopefully it's something nice and nothing weird, like a horse head or something like that. Bishop sent me a horse head. No, I'm sure it's something cool. Just like Isaac Campbell sent me some things already. Okay, let's see. Duke Rocks is saying 100% agree, Lex. A farm system should be part of development in the NBA. Baseball and hockey apply development in their system. I honestly think many players' lack of development is a result of this. You couple in that the NBA does not have, that's why they have to have the G League, is because the players don't go to college anymore. It used to be really going to 4 years of college meant something. If you were a 4-year collegiate player, that meant a way more than a 2-year or a 1-year player because we knew you fundamentally got some training and you knew more and you're older and you're more savvy. So these guys come in too soon and they don't really know the game. There's a lot of problems. Nick Nurse has lamented that young players aren't learning how to shoot correctly, and that a lot of fundamentals are not getting taught to very talented young kids coming up. In fact, at the coach's open house, he very much made that a point that he wanted to get across to us. Teach shooting. You are teaching youth in basketball. If you're here and doing that, please, can you teach them how to shoot? more early on and make sure that these are the emphasis and not just like dribbling. Everybody just wants to learn how to dribble right now, apparently, as kids, that they're not actually learning how to shoot. So there's all kinds of different things that just work well for this. If we just use the system, we have such access to it. Being just down the road, 905 to Toronto is very easy. I wish they would use it more in certain ways. Like I don't even totally understand Jeff Doughton being down there. I don't know. If I was going to pick guys that need to be in the 905 right now, Jeff Doughton wouldn't be on the 905. Malachi would be on the 905. And Jeff Doughton would be sitting in his spot on our main roster. It's stuff like that. I know we had to have him on a two-way. I mean, obviously, the two-way is going to have to play on the 905, and that's part of it. But really, with the way guys are and what they need, I don't think Jeff Doughton needs the G League at this point. And Malachi does. And that's part of it. It's like, why are we sending Jeff down there? I don't think he needs it. Ron needs it. Yeah. Justin needs it. Yeah. Delano needs it. Yeah. Malachi needs it. Yeah. But I don't think Jeff Doughton needs it. And I don't know. I don't think they're using 905 correctly this year. Let's just put it that way. I do not think they are. And this could be an avenue where they get some better success in different things because they do use it better. G saying you need to go to Uninterrupted Canada IG and watch the new Raptor video about a drawing in which Raptor it is. It's hilarious. I have actually seen that clip, G. It's a drawing of Siakam. And they're trying to figure out what it was. That clip was actually shown during the game on Saturday against Orlando in in-game ops. And it was put on the screen on the Jumbotron and everybody in the crowd watched it. Well, I watched the feed from the building. I saw it and it's hilarious. It's such a good drawing, Dylan. Thank you, Dylan, for drawing that great picture. And yeah, the guys were so awesome. Scotty's whole part in that is like basically like, you keep drawing, kid. You're doing a great job. Just like giving him words of encouragement. But yeah, the picture's crazy. And I thought it was OG at first. I was trying to guess. I was like, that looks like OG, but no, it was Siakam. And yeah, that's a hilarious clip. And G's right. Y'all should go check it out. And it's just one of those fun little things they do. It's like, but that was during the game. They showed it in the arena. Isaac Campbell saying Celtics are playing well, and as a consequence, don't need to rush Robert Williams the third back, perhaps to the Raptors' benefit. Well, that's what do? You want to bring him back as soon as possible, and that's what he said yesterday. That is exactly what Joe Mazzulla said. Coach Joe Mazzulla said Sunday that Williams' knee is pretty close to returning to game action. Gary Washburn of the Boston Globe reports. Now, I don't know what that means. Pretty close. Okay, 905, we're going to tip off in 3 minutes, y'all. Scotiabank Arena, get down there. Greensboro Swarm, Raptors 905. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We're just going to monitor it today. Hopefully, we get one game without him out there. But if he does play, that could be bad for them also. So we'll have to see. Duke Rock is saying Kyle's going to be a Raptor coach after Miami. I don't know if he'll be a coach. In some ways, you don't want Kyle Lowry to be a coach because he has such bad relationships with the refs. I don't know if I'd want him coaching the Raptors because a lot of refs hate him. The other thing about Kyle is that he's lazy to a degree also. That's the big secret about Kyle is he's a lazy guy in a lot of ways. And I don't know if I want him to be in charge. Like he could be an assistant coach and learn under Nick Nurse. That's fine. But if he ever makes head coach of the Raptors, I'm going to be like, this is maybe not good. Okay. Cool Cat saying Malachi got affected by COVID more than anyone else. Koloko will bulk up. Patience. Look at Embiid was skinny like Koloko too. When Precious returns, then Koloko will play 905. We don't have bodies right now. Okay, I hope you're right, Cool Cat. I mean, I just want to see him down there. He's eligible to play. I just think it'll do good things for him. And I think you're so right. COVID really hurt Malachi's career in all kinds of different ways, whether it's like his last year in university, whether it's like getting drafted and the way he got drafted, the time of year, the Tampa season, his rookie year, not having G League in his rookie year. There's a lot of things that hurt Malachi. That's why I wish they'd just caught up with him and say, go down there, kill it, show who you are, kill it down there, absolutely dominate, win some stuff down there, Malachi. Fred, Siakam, Boucher, they've all gone that route. And, I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going. But yeah, Embiid was very skinny early. I'm not worried about Christian. I just want to like develop him the right way and give him all the opportunities to develop in the right way and hopefully in a fast way in some ways too. Mike's saying Duke rocks. I 1000% agree. There's an element of like a thing called the pro fundamentals and learning how to manage your life and career and the on court things. You're right. There's a huge true piece missing in most. Well, even like with Scotty, I wonder about like, I'm sure he has a lot of good habits and he works very hard and things like that. But having a pro life and being in the NBA is a whole different kind of thing than what he's used to. And in some ways, he's got to learn to be a professional even more so with all the things he does, whether it's how he eats, how he works out, whatever he's doing, how much sleeps he gets, all that kind of stuff is really important and very much the part of being an NBA pro is taking care of yourself. And you got to do it in an even higher level than you may have done even at Florida State or at other levels in his career. So let's see. Monique's saying, name one thing you'd like to see Nick Nurse do tonight. If you had to choose one, what would it be? The fact that Pascal passed Bargnani in the all-time scoring list, eventually he'll pass everyone. Yeah, we didn't note that Pascal actually moved up to 5th all-time scoring on the Raptors all-time franchise scoring list. That's fantastic. And he's going to keep rising. She's right. He could eventually end up very near the top, if not at the top. And I'd like to see that, honestly, because he's a badass. And nobody would have thought that this would happen. Like, he is not somebody, when he came in, that I was like, wow, this dude is going to be like the franchise player at some point. I did not think that. And even Nick admitted this the other day, that when they got Siakam as the coaches when they were young, would you have said that he would be 5th on the all-time scoring list for the Raptors at this point? Nick said, no, I couldn't have seen this happening. So he's just like me. We're being honest. We did not see Siakam blossoming in such a full bloom as he has in his NBA career. And that's his coach saying that he didn't even see it when he came in too. So it's crazy. If there was one thing I could get Nick Nurse to do tonight is maybe not start Koloko. So seriously, I think that's one thing. That's one. And then obviously the other stuff about what we were talking about with staying home and not doubling. If he can really, really figure out how to do this correctly tonight, the right mix, because I know he's going to do both. He's going to do one-on-one, stay at home, but he's also going to run traps at them too. If he finds the right mix and the right opportunities and the right times on the court, that's what I'd like to see too. So those are the two kind of things. Really get the starting lineup correct to start the game in a very strong foundational way. If you start Kem Birch tonight just to establish low post defensive presence, I won't be upset, Nick. If you start Thad Young tonight because he's a vet, he's savvy, he'll be able to guard and play against Al Horford a little bit better than Koloko will, I won't be unhappy. If you decide to go back to your bread and butter starting lineup from last year with Gary Trent Jr., with those other 4 guys that you started so many times last year, and this is a sound, comfortable lineup against the Celtics, I will not be unhappy because the Celtics are a small lineup, just like somebody said earlier in here. And that having Scotty be the center and be the big guy is not a big deal against the Celtics in some ways. So Gary is actually signing things. So that's kind of what I'm saying right now. Don't start Koloko. I know some of y'all are saying start Koloko, but I don't believe that's a good idea for tonight. Let's see. David Saborin. Good to see David in the comments. I know David's always around. Trivia champion right now in our league. He is leading the Raptor Freak Trivia. So much respect to David. At Raptors superfan Monique, the greatest. I'd like to see Nick bench Fred after he starts doing what he's been doing and play Doughton. Wow. He's going for Fred. Well, listen, I think it's too soon to kind of push Fred out of the starting lineup. Now, tonight, we definitely need Fred against them because Fred against the Celtics is a good thing. Fred is a good battler. So we'll have to see. But listen, I'm not against the idea of down the road Fred maybe possibly being the guy who comes off the bench if there's other guys that are more sound and stuff. But still, Fred's got so many intangibles that are so important. But thanks for chiming in today, David. But that's interesting. You want to see Jeff Doughton start? Wow. John Alvarez is saying, what's up, Lex? Great cast. Let's go Raptors. Yes, thank you, John Alvarez, for jumping in and saying good morning. And let's go Raptors. Let's beat the Celtics tonight, and let's get some cred. Let's get some like, Boston, Brooklyn may have beat us 3 times all year, but Boston beat Brooklyn and we beat Boston. So hey, maybe we are better than Brooklyn after all. That's my logic, is the way I think. Let's see. Duke saying logical. I was thinking compared to hockey and basketball, maybe the size of the roster was the reason of lack of development. Baseball and hockey have bigger rosters. That is part of it. That is part of it. There's a lot of different factors in it. It really is partly the sports are very different in like their youth and the way they bring the players up and prep. So there's a more of a farm system that's already built into like junior hockey and lower baseball levels too. And then in basketball, there's the prep schools, a high school like Scotty went to and Precious, and then you got like university, but university is very much not being utilized in the way that it used to. The very best players bypass university to a degree, and the university game is hurt. And then you got university guys that come and play 4 years and they have a college career, but a lot of those guys aren't even being prepped to be going into the NBA. That if you're good, you go to college for 1 or 2 years if you don't go at all. And that has really hurt some of the talent, the youth and the young guys coming in. They may be super, super talented, but fundamentally they're not totally good. So it is a lack of prep system for basketball that is not on the same level as hockey or baseball at this point. So yeah, that is, it is something that, in some ways the G League has really helped. In fact, it may have been totally necessary because of the lack of college education for NBA players at this point. Duke's saying a better constructed farm system opens more jobs and helps late bloomers. Yeah, like Chris Boucher. He was netted and became a valid NBA player because he wasn't given up on. And it wasn't until like he was 27 that he started actually playing like solidly in the NBA. So that's he could have fell through the cracks without the G League. And I know he said something like, oh, he regrets taking the G League contract when he signed with the Raptors initially and that it hurt him. But you know what, Chris, in some ways that was your foot to stay in the league. And if you didn't do that, who knows what would have happened. I know financially you didn't like that decision in the end, but it was the right decision to get you to where you are right now. And it may not have worked out the way it did if you did not do that. Let's just put it that way. Because he said that on a hustle play. He's like, he regrets signing that G League two-way contract with us because it wasn't good money. But anyway, let's see. Mike's saying Duke rocks. The NBA has an issue with the pro fundamentals, and hence why they moved the draft age back. It creates a bad looping culture from guys never getting a chance to play without fame and trappings. Yeah. Bishop, no horse heads? Okay, thank you. Yeah, just find my email. It really is just basically my name with my middle initial at Yahoo. So it's like my middle initial is J. So if you know my name and know how to spell it, then you can figure out my email. But it is also posted in my profile. You can email me through the YouTube channel. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, let's go Raptors. Raptor head, Raptor, and then a horse head. Monique saying W streams only, always keep it at it, Lex. Let's go Raptors. Thank you, Monique. Thank you for the encouragement. It does keep me going. And thank you for the W's, y'all. Big W's for Monique, for Bradley, for Isaac Campbell. Big W's for Tom Duke, but Bishop, everybody who's joining us this morning. All the ladies going to the game tonight. Leslie, Cool Cat, everybody. Big W's for everybody. All right, let's see. Blackhawks saying, whoa, Lexi, NBA is using G League Ignite for players. They steal away from the college system. Every NBA team, with the exception of Phoenix, is using the G League for development. Yeah. And this is good and it's important. Yeah, you're right, too. G League Ignite gets a lot of players like Scoot Henderson, Victor. All these guys are playing a little bit on those teams. Victor's not on G League Ignite, though. But yeah, it is. But this is the thing. The D League, before development league that Nick Nurse was coaching in and won a championship in way back, was different. It was, the CBA before that. There's been development leagues around the NBA, and the G League is the best version of it, of all of them. Don't get me wrong. But it really was, when I first started watching basketball, you did 4 years in college, and you really did as much as possible, because that was like you would draft guys based on how many years they went to college. Like a 4-year guy was more attractive than just a 2-year, but it's changed over the decades. And it's really become like, okay, well, no, you need to get there first and grab these guys before they even get to college and say, oh, LeBron, you got to come right into the league without even going to college. It's really kind of messed up. And it hasn't helped like most general average players. It's good for really super talented guys that can bypass and just go shooting right into the NBA. But it's been not very helpful for the average NBA or average basketball player trying to make the NBA. The system isn't exactly good. But thanks for being here, Blackhawk, and chiming in. And yeah, G League's really good. It's just that I'm talking about specifically what we're trying to do with our players here. And I think Koloko could use it. Duke saying logical Raptors fanatic, agree 100%. On a separate topic, how do you highlight the response name? Like, how do you do it in orange? I think you have to put an @ and then write their name, Duke. So just put the @ and then logical Raptors fanatic. And I think, or you can I think you can actually click on the thing and no, that's either. Okay. Yeah. You don't want to do that. Maybe you can do response. I'm not sure. Let's see. Any proper? Okay, yeah, he's giving you the tips. Leslie saying, I did really want OG. He has been amazing. Sometimes you have to switch it up and be unpredictable. Let Chris start for the first 5-6 minutes. This might throw Boston off. It'll throw all of us off. It's like OG's not starting. This is weird. Yeah, I don't know how realistic that is. Evelyn's saying hello to the Saborin brothers. Hello, Peter and David. Happy Monday morning, and let's go Raptors. Mike saying people would say Mike got 6 championships. Used to highlight my name, Mike G, from the mic, and any G word after triggers the highlights. So spaces and capitals don't matter. I'm pretty sure. Okay. And then, yeah, you guys are just figuring it out. I'll let you guys do it. And the Blackhawks say 905 is why the rest of the league is using the G League because we are innovative. Yeah, and they're using it more like we are. In fact, they probably want their affiliates to be as close to the team as possible. That sometimes if an affiliate's too far geographically, that it can very much like hurt the effectiveness and helping the main team if the G League team is like 2 states over or something like that. So it being closer is really good. And yeah, the G League's been awesome. And I really do like the Showcase Cup that they're doing right now. And I like that they test things for the big league on the small league, like the Elam ending and things like that. So yeah, G League's awesome. Don't get it twisted. I'm not down in the G League. It's just that it's like there's so many other levels of like development in the other sports, is what I'm saying. Like hockey, they start with you so early. And then baseball, it's like you have to do so many different levels to actually get into the majors. And that even if you're a really, really good player, you could be the best player in the draft in the MLB. You're still probably going to play some AAA or AA just to get ready to go to the big club. And that's what I'm saying. It's like you don't just throw them out into the mix. Like all of a sudden, like Koloko's been done to. You kind of give them a little bit of prep and like leveling up the competition. You know, you see what he did in high school. He was playing against little kids. He could tip the ball around. And it was so easy. Then he went to Arizona. Yeah, it's a little bit harder, but there are not very good defender players in some places. So it is easier in some ways. Now he's in the NBA. Everybody's faster and stronger. And it may be a little bit too much all at once for him. That's what I'm saying. G League is the next step. Between that, you can go in there and dominate a little bit, maybe learn some things about his offensive game that can be more developed at that level at this point than on the big roster. And that's the whole kind of thing I'm kind of describing with this. I think we're both on the same page with our opinion on it, Blackhawk, for sure. Monique saying 905 is off to a slow start so far. They started very fast. They were 4-1, and now they've hit a really bad patch of losing 6 games in a row. That's crazy. They've lost 6 games in a row right now. It is crazy and really bad. Let's see. Actually, I think they've lost 5 games in a row, but they're 4-6. But they were 4-1 at one point, and now all of a sudden they're 4-6. It's really bad. Mike saying Duke rocks. Okay, yeah. Sometimes you guys go in your little places. It's all good. Okay, you did do the @ and it kind of did it. I don't know how to do it exactly, Duke. I'm not sure. Kareem Thomas is here. Good to see Kareem. I got 5 on it. I have great confidence in our team tonight. He has 5 on this. What scares me is that little shit, Pritchard. Yeah, I fucking hate that guy too. Man, he bugs me. And Derek White and Grant Williams. I hope we can tame those players because Jalen and Jason won't beat us alone. Yeah. some reason, like it's often that we do stymie the two big guys for the Celtics, and then it is role players that come in, do crazy shit like Sam Hauser or like Grant Williams, Pritchard. Yeah, that's something else. Yeah, there's a couple of different problems there. But yeah, I agree with this. We got to keep track of their really good 3-point shooter role players off the bench. And Pritchard, Hauser, Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon. These are all guys that we're going to have to keep track of around the 3-point line, along with their stars that start for sure. Okay, Tom Duke saying mascot matchup. Did I miss it? No, I haven't done it yet. So let's do it right now since Tom Duke has cued me for it. All right, the real mascot matchup. Last time we saw the mascot, he is back in the horrible jail cell in the sauna hospital, horrible messed up room, the messed up room. He's back in there and he's getting strapped down. But actually, you know what? He's been there for a while now. It's like he's kind of been in and out. He's kind of recovering, but they're also torturing him. But like Harry, the news hawk, and Cavalier nurse are like, we need to feed him, because he looks really like gaunt. He's like not looking like healthy. Like the Raptor, they really are fucked him up, and he was really in trouble. And so they're like, we need to feed him. It's like Harry's like, well, what will you get him? Well, I'm gonna go to Subway. Okay, let's get him something. So they go to Subway and they bring him back a bowl way, just like what Scotty's selling on TV right now, a bowl way. And they give the bowl way to the Raptor, and he's in the bed, he's eating it, and it's something weird, magical happens. The food from the Subway bowl way, yeah, it's Chipotle. You go get it. You can get it today. Go get it. This may be a little bit of an advertisement going along with Scotty and what he's doing. The bowl way was so delicious. It was kind of a magical like elixir of food to his body, to the Raptor, and he got all this like energy all of a sudden. It's like bowl way really helped him. It's crazy. Bowl way made him so happy. It lifted his spirits magically. So he's like, all of a sudden he had some gumption. He's like, I feel better. You know what? I have some strength. I'm not going to let them know. I'm going to act like I'm still very hurt and sick. And maybe they'll give me some more bowl way. Maybe I can get more bowl way this week. Yeah, I'd like to get some more bowl way later this week. Some more magical bowl way. And maybe we can feel even better after we eat more Subway bowl way. Yeah, they're not paying me. They're paying Scott. And I'm just trying to help him. And so, yeah, he's had the bowl way, and it made him feel better. But he's waiting for his moment, his lucky moment. He's looking for a lucky moment, a moment to do something big, to really big, a very big move that he wants to make, hopefully tonight. A very lucky moment that he's looking for, where he's got his new energy from the bowl way, and he's going to make his break for it. So let's see if he gets a lucky moment tonight and he can get out of there, because he's been bowled up by his bowl way from Subway. And there's your advertisement, your real mascot matchup. Let's see if he finds his lucky big moment tonight. All right, there's your real mascot matchup. There you go. Mike's saying, okay, yeah, you guys are just talking to each other. I'm just going to Monique's saying the 905 are down right now. They've started the game or playing 17 minutes already. They're already down. Oh my gosh, I better get down there. All right, let me see. Is there anything else I forgot to do? I think I covered everything. We're right at almost 2 hours. Just real quick, the injuries for tonight are basically Juancho is doubtful for tonight. It is his ankle from the Magic game. Otto Porter's still out, and so is Precious Achiuwa. On the other side, Danilo Gallinari is out, obviously. Marcus Smart is day-to-day. I am speculating that they may have held him out last night so he could play tonight, because he did not play against Brooklyn last night. And then Robert Williams III is very close to coming back, and I hope that it isn't tonight. We'll see. If it is, that could be a real bad gamble by the Boston Celtics to bring him back tonight. Our referees tonight are Josh Tiven, Sean Corbin, and Matt Callio from Edmonton. That's right. We have the Canadian ref tonight. The ref crew is very nice to us. All right, let's see. Cheers to you, Bishop. And yeah, just figure out my email, and send me something if you want to. That's fine with me. Thanks, guys. If you enjoyed my preview today, anything I said, please hit that subscribe button. It's the best way that you can help me out. And let's go Raptors. This is a big game tonight. Like we said earlier, it may be smart to start with vets in the starting lineup. It may be smart to have a very established, experienced crew to get off to that good start, because we know the first quarter is now a very much an important time for us to win. That we are dedicated to coming out and starting well because of the players only meeting on Saturday. What we need to do it tonight against the best team in the Eastern Conference right now, the Boston Celtics. So I think that if we start with experience and smarts and teams, guys that have already played the Celtics a ton and really know what to expect from them, know them second nature because they played them in the bubble. They played them for years now, and they really understand Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and what they like to do. Those are the guys we need to start. Not a 7'1" rookie that is green. I'm telling y'all, he is green. And that is a big hindrance to how we start the game sometimes when he is starting the game for us. It's fine against Orlando, but not against the Celtics. Let me just put it that way. So hopefully they'll do that. And then once again, please stay at home with the defense. Don't try and double too much, because they beat us so well with rotating out of the doubles that they find easy baskets. Maybe us playing them more one-on-one and just letting our athleticism test them each individually one-on-one is the best way to go. All right, guys, I'm going to try and wrap this up right at 2 hours. So let's go Raptors!